Guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always. So, I'm going to be talking about Hardlife Fightwear. So, as you know, Hardlife Fightwear, obviously an amazing brand, does a lot of great stuff, a lot of great designs. Not just the designs, but they do a lot of stuff for the actual community as well. So, they sponsor a lot of athletes. So, there's a lot of athletes on their books. And they do really good for the athletes themselves, providing with gear and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very, very close family in the Hardlife family. Everybody that's sponsored there, they all know each other. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them train together, or they train together as much as they can. And you do see them out there in competition, absolutely destroying competition wherever they go. So, and it's worldwide. I mean, obviously you've got not just here in the UK, but a lot of these fighters and grapplers travel all over the world, representing Hardlife and obviously their gyms and so on. So it's always great to see them out there having as much success as possible. So, so my next guest obviously is one of these sponsored athletes for Hardlife, the king of the Black Country. So Dave Weston of Black Country Jiu-Jitsu. So Dave's one of these guys. I remember seeing Dave on the scene, and he's always an exciting guy. For being a heavyweight, he's an exciting guy. Moves like a lightweight. He's very calculated when it comes to like submissions and stuff like that. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And Dave's not one of these guys that wants to take it to decisions. He wants to finish you before that decision happens. So, so very, very exciting fighter. Grapple Fest veteran, obviously submission series veteran as well. And yeah, Dave's always brilliant in your submission only setting, but he also does competitions as well. So just done a competition here, which we're going to hear a little bit about as well. So Dave, brother, absolute pleasure as always.
Yeah, really kind words, man. Appreciate that.
You know I love you, mate. You know I love you. That king of the Black Country. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That was me, man. As soon as I seen you.
I always credit you with it, man. It's nice when somebody else gives you a nickname as cool as that. So yeah, I do appreciate it. Yeah, that's good effort.
Yeah, but no, listen, as I said, it's I remember seeing you. I can't remember. It was the first time I'd seen you in person was Submission Series. I'm sure it was either Submission Series or Grapple Fest. And just coming, I'm sure it was Grapple Fest. It was Grapple Fest because I remember doing the interview before.
Yes, against Jack Grant, wasn't it? But he was supposed to be for Ritz to start with. He pulled out, and then I had Jack Grant on about a week's notice. Yeah. That was the first time we spoke. Yeah, it was good. That was.
And it was also, I remember being down at that Grapple Fest and actually seeing you doing your thing. Do you know what I mean? And I'd say very, 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 really, really good grappler. Do you know what I mean? Really good grappler. And your style suits, as I said, submission only settings because do you know what I mean? You're always going for things. I mean, you're not, as I said, you're not one to leave it in the referee's hands. Do you know what I mean? Or the judge's hands.
It's not. This is why I prefer like super fight kind of scenario. It's just trying to force the excitement all the time. That's all I ever wanted. And when somebody like yourself gives you an intro and says they're excited and look for the kill, that's all I ever really wanted. More than having constant wins, I want to be the guy that people want to see, and they're not always the guy that always wins. There's a lot of, watch Gordon Ryan's matches, man. They're good to study, but they're boring as hell. And I'm no interest in being that guy that never loses. I'd rather be the guy that everybody goes, fucking hell, I can't wait to watch his match.
Yeah. Because there's quite a few grapplers on the scene where they don't care win or lose. Like Cal Pacino, obviously our good friend Cal Pacino. I mean, win or lose, he doesn't care. But when do you ever see Cal Pacino in a boring match? Do you know what I mean? So like they're always fine, and you're very much similar.
Like I don't mind losing at all as long as I go out and full send it. If they're better than me, they're better than me. I'm not the best in the world, and that's okay. Obviously try to beat everybody and put it all on the line. But as long as you go out and attack like mad, it's like, yeah, I gave that a crack and I came up short. That. How could you be mad at yourself? Like that's where I'm at.
Definitely. Well, I always love seeing you out there. I always love seeing you doing your thing. Whether I'm there in person or I'm seeing it on Facebook and stuff like that, seeing the posts. So it's always brilliant seeing you doing your thing. So tell us about Black Country Jiu-Jitsu. Obviously, the gym itself looks like it's doing fantastic at the moment.
Yeah, it's just gone past the 5-year mark, which is it's gone fast. Obviously, COVID was in that as well. So that, I mean, well, not that we stopped training, but we stopped getting new members for a while.
Well, just in case there was watching, we didn't train during lockdown. We didn't train at all.
I don't even care. I did. I trained every day. It was great. I was on furlough as well. I was getting 80% wage to train twice a day. I'm not even scared. The best time of my life.
But yeah, it was a tough time because I remember, I think when I spoke to you, it was we were kind of, COVID was kicking about and stuff like that. So I know we were out of restrictions, then we're back in and so on. So it was a tough time for anybody coming through. I remember talking to a lot of gym owners, and it was a tough time. But listen, we got out of it. We eventually got out of it. So, but the gym itself, I mean, anybody that follows Black Country Jiu-Jitsu or even follows Dave, I mean, you see yourself, the gym numbers are absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean? There's a great buzz at Black Country as well.
Yeah, it's been a slow progression, really. We haven't had like a mad influx, but over the 5 years, and it's the same as the facility. I mean, this thing was like a rundown garage. It was a right state when we got it. We did a lot of work before we went in, but then it's just been slow over the 5 years, increasing the mat spaces, putting wall mats on, and bit by bit. And you kind of look at it now, and it's kind of what I visualized when we opened it. So it's nice. I mean, it's taken 5 years, but it's nice to start getting there.
Yeah. A lot of good people as well that train at the gym. A lot of really, really nice people. A lot of great grapplers as well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've got a bunch of lads coming through. Obviously, you must have seen like James Bullingham out on the scene, smashing it with the exact same style of me, like just full sends to the leg entries, and it doesn't take a step backwards. And then we just got loads of people, coming through onto the comp scene with a lot of potential behind them. So, another 5 years, God knows where we'll be.
Yeah. Talked about the leg game. I mean, your leg game's legendary. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely legendary. Everybody saw the viral video you and Aidan Woodley. Again, obviously, thank God everything worked out good for him. So, but I know you were worried at the time. I know you kind of stayed there until everything was. People made sure he was okay and stuff like that. But your game, your leg game, is very, very dangerous. Not just that point, but any match you go into.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, really, because a lot of people credit me to having this like really technical leg game. But if I was 80 kilograms, it would be very standard. But because you're bigger and fatter, they're like, "Oh, bloody hell, that's impressive." So it's thankful I'm heavier, because I'd probably be crap if I was like 80 kilograms.
But that's the thing. I mean, you don't tend to see a lot of heavier weights doing the leg game. You tend to see them doing like chokes and stuff like that. So, do you know what I mean? Choke seems to be the thing for anybody over 95, 100 kilos.
Yeah, I do. I get a sick pleasure out of the rush of, because like these, I'm messing around in the ultra heavyweight division now. So like these guys are like 120 kilograms or whatever, and there is a bit of a rush when you're like, I know I'm going to play guard. I know I'm going to try and get his leg, and if I don't, he's going to squeeze the life out of me. Like, it's going to be so bad if this guy gets on top of me, and I really enjoy that. It's like living on a knife edge. It's good fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing again. We talk about heavyweights. I mean, you don't see heavyweights playing guard. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to play guard because of exactly as you said. Like, I don't want to be on the bottom with this 120 kilo, 130 kilo guy on top of me. Whereas you're quite comfortable, regardless of where it goes, top, bottom, whatever.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, you do see it more and more. There is some talented guard players now at that weight division, but you go back 5 years, nobody was doing it. It was just and it made it quite boring. You got big heavy guys that don't move very fast trying to take each other down. It could get very boring. But it's if I pull guard, there's going to be a scramble straight off the bat. So it's a lot of people hate on guard pullers, and they say it's boring. But I just say watch any of my matches. It's a mentality. I pull guard so I can attack faster, not to slow the match down.
Yeah, and at the moment you're at Reorg down in London, I believe. So obviously you sent a picture, 12 hours notice. I mean, how did that go?
Right, so it was just after a savage comp class. If you've ever had the pleasure, anybody of come into the comp classes at Black Country, they are horrific. Just finished one up, and it's the guy who sponsors my supplements. He's very closely related with a brand called Combat Fuel, who I've been taking the piss out of relentlessly, which makes this even funnier. Their athletes couldn't make it for whatever reason, and they wanted somebody to help on the stand. And because I've been taking the piss out of them, I was like, that sounds hilarious. I'm going to come down, put one of their t-shirts on and help them out on the stand. So they that got arranged, and that was about 9 o'clock last night. And then it crossed my mind. I was like, oh, I'll just have a scan through the divisions, have a look what's going on. And there was nobody in the no-gi, but there was two guys in the ultra heavy Master 1 black belt division in the gi. So I put a phone call in last night about 10 o'clock. I was like, is there any chance you guys can squeeze me into that? And I said, yeah, no problem. So as of 10 o'clock last night, I was in this bracket in the gi. And truth be told, I've probably trained in the gi twice this year. I did a lot when I was younger, but yeah, I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, but I'm always up for a laugh. And, you come away with the gold.
12 hours notice. But the thing is, I mean, even on 12 hours notice, I mean, you're 100% ready. And I mean, you're like one of these guys who can turn up and they're like, oh, are you able to do this right now? You're like, well, yeah, I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? So you're never not going to let yourself come to a point where, oh, shit, I've not trained for a month or 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm good to go. It wasn't stuff like that's not ideal straight after comp class because I woke up this morning, sore hip, sore back, sore wrist. But it's, I think a lot of people pull out of matches too early as well. And sometimes like, oh, I've got a sore wrist. It's like, yeah, but if you tape it up, you're going to be like 0.5% weaker. You know what I mean? People think, I see I'm at 50%. It's like, no, you're not. You're at 99%. Yeah. So I might have been at 97%. My little niggles before the match affected my matches 0. So, yeah.
Once it's go time, I mean, as I said, it's, do you know what I mean? It makes no difference. Do you know what I mean? As I said, yeah, everybody's got niggles and pains. I mean, you couldn't talk to anybody in jiu-jitsu or anybody in grappling, submission grappling or whatever and say, are you 100% fit? Because if you weren't 100% fit, then, do you know what I mean? It's like, well, we're still going to go. We're still going to do it. Yeah,
if you want to be 100% fit, you're going to have 4 weeks off. You're not going to be ready to go. You've had 4 weeks off. If you've trained hard for 8 weeks, there's no way in hell you're 100%. You're going to be about 90. But you'll be fast, you'll be sharp, but you will have some aches and pains. That's just that's the way it is. Yeah.
Tell us about Hardlife. So obviously we're doing this thing. At the moment, we're talking about Hardlife grapplers or Hardlife sponsored athletes. And Hardlife's a brand. So they just released a 2.0 website, just a rebranding of the whole Hardlife brand. And there's a lot of great stuff, a lot of great rash guards, a lot of great kit they've got. They've brought in some of the old school stuff that they did originally, as well as obviously a lot of new stuff. Rob Collier is a fucking genius when it comes to putting kits together. So, but Hardlife, obviously you've been a sponsored athlete. Hardlife, what does it mean to you then?
And obviously I've known Dave for a long time, Dave Mooch, and when you ask anybody about him, he's got the same reputation with everybody. He's just the best bloke, funny attitude. You could hang around him all day. You'd be just such a funny bloke. So obviously, like, a lot of respect for that guy. And then he came to me and said, "Look, we're changing things. We're doing this whole 2.0, and I want you to be one of the athletes." So obviously, I was like, "Yeah, I'll have the conversation." And that's when I started talking to Liam and the rest of them. And they go together quite well because Liam's a bit more serious. He handles the problems and he deals with the stuff. And you got Dave, who's like the Hardlife mascot, who it's a good little working operation, but that's how I ended up involved. And then you add in the bloody Swainston brothers, and you've got a right bloody circus. I don't know what's wrong with them kids, man.
Oh, they're so funny. I had the two of them on last week, and just the two of them together. And then they said to me, Stum, and it was Ben mostly saying, Stum, going to put a post up on your Instagram about which one of the Swainston brothers is the best. Do you know what I mean? And then it come up that Ben got, I think, 65% of the vote, and Josh got 35%, and Ben's reposting it like, see, I told you, everybody knows I'm the best.
He's not, Ben's a little gobshite. No, I like both of them. Funny guys, man, really funny kids. And I don't even like to admit it, but I mean, Josh, injuries aside, the pair of them got like a really bright future ahead of them. You think about how old Ben is, although he looks like a 40-year-old fucking. He's got a solid future ahead of him. And then, I watched some of Josh's leg entries. I watched Josh's leg entries, man. They're 10 times better than mine. So tight, so slick. And Ben's similar. And Ben's. I don't know if he's bigger than me. He's got to be similar size to me, and his guard game's fucking class. So it's nice to be in a team with them. As you said, that Hardlife like to support people from like grassroots and stuff. And it's nice to see that them supporting these two lads and getting trying to help them get to where they need to be. They could go anywhere, them two.
Yeah, they're definitely great kids, man. Great, but I'm saying that kid's obviously Ben's 17, and yeah, do you know what I mean? And he's out there kicking the shit out of adults. Do you know what I mean? And he's doing it on a regular basis. And he's one of the guys that travels all over the world and competing IBJJF and stuff like that. But he still comes home and does the sub submissions and stuff like that. So
yeah, his credentials are mad. If you put down the list of the stuff that he's won, he's I mean, imagine the experience he's got. I haven't got that level of experience, of all these majors and everything. So he's already off to a great start. Just got his purple belt, already winning IBJJF's at a bloody purple belt. You know what I mean? He's he can make a good run of this.
Definitely. And as you mentioned there as well, the grassroots. I mean, Hardlife's one of the companies that from grassroots, they see them early. They get these people in early from white belts, blue belts and stuff like that, and stay with them as long as possible. Do you know what I mean? So as long as possible, and as they're helping out with fight gear, helping out with other kind of stuff as well, which is absolutely awesome. And Hardlife, I mean, I know it's been going a while, it's been going a number of years, but I mean, where they can go now that they've got a proper team together. Now it's not just Dave on his own and Rob Collier doing the designs. Now they've got Liam, they've got other people involved as well. I mean, we can see the brand going bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think Dave, bless him, like he's such a good bloke, but maybe he's like having Liam. If you see them two together, they're great. It's bloody hilarious. But they're the two together. Liam's drive to get stuff done and to make something of it, and Dave's obviously personality and like Hardlife pretty much is Dave. The two together, they're gonna do some good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with it.
And all the athletes, we're all misfits, every one of us, man. Do you know what I mean? We're all it's like a completely dysfunctional family.
Yeah, that's why I like joining them. I'm like, look at all the shithousery that's going on at Hardlife. I'm like, I'm in. I'm all about shithousery.
Yeah, but every athlete, everybody involved in Hardlife is a character, which is something I love. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's got their own personality. Do you know what I mean? They all bring something to the table, and every one of them's bonkers, man. Every single one of us.
Yeah. It's cool, man. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. What's next for you then, Dave? So obviously, again, you're at reorg today. Last minute, jumped in, got gold medal, which let's not expect you going out and get gold medals all the time. So that's no surprise to me, Dave. No surprise. So,
I've got to be honest. Taking a gold in the gi did surprise me a little bit. But it's all the same.
Yeah. Well, what's next for you? I mean, I know you mentioned sub-series, obviously, in a few weeks. So yeah, what's on the plan for you?
So, to be honest with you, I'm trying to get my head round competing a bit more. Big things for me will be sub-series, which I believe my match is getting announced tonight, and I don't really want to take that away from Cal Pacino. Obviously, he wants to do a big reveal. It's a big match. It's a match that I've wanted for ages, and has been ummed and ahed about for ages. Obviously, defending that 100-kilogram title, which I did the first 3 sub-series, won by submission on the first 3, and then I must have done the 7th one or something. But I remember when the 4th one came round, and I was begging Cal to get me a match. I was like, I've won on every single one. I want to keep going. And I feel like I've been on 4 out of 9 so far, which isn't bad. But, it's Cal's show. I love that guy to pieces. So I want to, get on as many of his shows as possible. So it's nice to be making a return to it.
Yeah.
Obviously defending the title, and the guy who it's against, I couldn't be more over the moon to, get a match with him.
Yeah. Listen, there's a few guys I'd love to see you against, so there is a few guys. So fingers crossed. Obviously, the name that comes out is one of the guys that's in my head. So,
you know who that is, Stu. You know.
I probably do. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely do.
And if it is, then listen,
it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a really good match.
That, man. Yeah. Because if it is, then I know you've been looking for it. That person's also been looking for it as well. So Yeah, fingers crossed.
We
Fingers
message
crossed.
each other quite a bit as well, and the second it was agreed, we've been like back and forth, like it, not even in a bad way, just like buzzing to try and tear each other.
I can imagine. I can imagine. No, listen, it'll be awesome. Obviously, we'll keep an eye out for that. We'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Anybody you want to thank, Dave? Because obviously, again, I mean, you've got a lot of great people around you, not just in Black Country, but do you know what I mean, there's a lot of people support you all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So, but anybody you want to shout out to, friends, family members, teammates, sponsors, anything like that?
Obviously, first of all, Hardlife for like, you know, obviously they sponsor me, they sort all my gear out, and they look after me. And it's a shame they're so far up north. Otherwise, I'd spend more time around them and in the shop. I do plan to come up again soon. But you know, they've given me quite a few opportunities. They've set matches up, seminars and stuff. Like it's not just here's some clothing, see you later. So they are like, you know, they've got my back. So obviously, big shout out to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, I've got loads of good people around me at the minute. Honestly, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. Just gone 33, and physically, Sam at Plan A Performance, man, that guy, strength and conditioning wizard, doing unreal things. And then that mixed in with Strom Sports supplements, they're going to be doing big things. I mean, they're one of the best supplement guys out there, and now they're coming over into jiu-jitsu. It's like oh god, it's going to be wicked for jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you mix these two things together as well, strength conditioning and supplementing right, like the shape I'm in at the minute is ridiculous.
Yeah. Listen, I always love seeing you. I always love seeing you out there. Do you know what I mean? I always love hearing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? The king of the Black Country. Do you know what I mean? You're the man. You're definitely the man.
I've got a top being printed soon, actually. Somebody offered to print me a top, and if it's any good, I'll send you one.
But hopefully, king of the Black Country. Do you know what I mean? So,
That's it.
Do you know, a lot of people get like because I've done it with a lot of people where I've been doing commentary and I've said a name like the king of the Black Country, or there's a girl up here, Gemma Auld, who I call the queen of Scottish MMA, and do you know what I mean? There's a few other people, and whenever they hear it, some people are like, oh, I don't know, but you love it, man. You absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a bit, you know, it's not too. If you're like king of the world, that's a bit of a, you know, king of the Black Country. I mean, there's not a lot in the Black Country anyway, so it's not. It's still a little modest, but something about the Black Country, man. I'm like, yeah, that's us, man. That's us.
Oh no, listen, always a pleasure, Dave. Always a pleasure. So, but listen, thanks very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me.
Pleasure, man. Yeah, as I say, anytime, Stu, man. I got a lot of time for you, man. Some of the stuff you do, like, it's class to have people like you that's willing to put the effort in, like people like ourselves, like give us a chance to come on and talk to someone, and you know, giving us the exposure as well. So yeah, I appreciate your hard work, man. You're doing killer it.
Always love it. So guys, there we go then. The king of the Black Country, Dave Weston, Black Country Jiu-Jitsu. Now, anybody want to head down, get some training? As Dave mentioned, the comp classes are, I mean, if you're going to turn up to a Black Country comp class, make sure you're ready. Do you know what I mean? Don't just turn up having not trained for fucking 5 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you're 100% ready, because there's no easy rounds at Black Country.
I mean, we like people traveling as well, man. So people train for free. If you want to come down and do a week with us, if you're a member of a different gym, you want to come train with us for a week, man, that's for free, man. Come and jump in.
So there we go. Make sure you head over to Black Country Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook or Instagram. Anybody as well looking to get in contact with Dave, I mean, Dave's on Instagram and Facebook as well. He messages me back all the time. He might not message you back straight away, right?
Not everybody gets that treatment, Stu. That's just
nobody gets the Stu Boy treatment. Nobody gets the king of the Black Country treatment. So, but Dave, listen, absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the time down at Reorg. And yeah, listen, I'll catch up with you soon, brother.
Yeah, man. See you soon, Stu.
Take care, buddy.
Take care, bro.